All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 268. Today on the show, big fight between Trump and Elon. We're going to go over what happened there. Then Dave Portnoy gets trolled again, and he doubles down against free speech. Then we have some Pride updates, and there's a new Happy Meal McDonald's toy and Cringe of the Week. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, we have a shootout at a playground, and you won't believe what the women and children are up to. All this and more, it's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, episode 268, ranked the best news podcast of all time!
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleccas Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Grabboy.
All right, one for one on the intro, as always. Guys, I want to start the show off a little different today. I want to tell you about something that's been covered up worse than the Epstein files. I'm talking about the insane benefits of cocoa flavanols, the compound found in cocoa that helps you boost your nitric oxide, improve your heart health, and regenerate brain cells. It's not some woo-woo nonsense, and I'm actually going to show you a clip from a Harvard scientist, Dr. William Lee, and he's about to back it up.
So, studies have been done to show that the flavonols in cocoa stimulate stem cells to come out of your bone marrow like bees in a beehive in your bloodstream, and they go out and they find wherever it needs to be repaired. If it's in your heart, they'll fix it. If it's in your liver, they'll fix it. If it's in your skin, they'll fix it. And so we can eat foods like high flavanol cocoa in order to be able to actually get the stem cells to work a little bit better. Now, how do we know this actually works in people? Well, clinical studies have been done with high flavanol cocoa to show that in like men who are in their 60s with heart disease, they could actually have 2 cups of dark chocolate hot cocoa a day for a month. They doubled the amount of stem cells in their bloodstream, and their circulation improved measurably. And then what's even more important and impressive is that there was a study called the Cosmos study that was completed recently that showed that eating high flavanol cocoa decreases the risk of cardiovascular death.
That's right, dark chocolate. And remember, flavanols are the good compounds found in cocoa that usually get destroyed in the chocolate making process, but that's where Black Forest Supplements comes in. They created the first ever high flavanol cocoa powder packed with everything your body needs. It's only 20 calories. I mix it with my coffee and it tastes amazing. This stuff can boost your body's natural stem cell production. Hollywood elites drop $50K on placenta stem cell injections, but you can just drink this cocoa powder and get the same benefits without selling your soul for it. I've been doing this for a while now, and my brain fog is gone and my energy is up. And guys, you know we got to do what's best for us. No one's coming to save us. We need to be working out, eating right, and taking the correct supplements. And lucky for us, I worked out a deal with my guy over at Black Forest Supplements for you show watchers, and they're offering us an exclusive 40% off for 48 hours. This stuff sells out fast, so do not wait. This is an exclusive offer for you, Fleccas Talks, the podcast show watchers. 40% off for the next 48 hours. Click the link in the description or click the link in the pinned comment. Thank you to Black Forest Supplements for sponsoring. Let's get into housekeeping. All right. Thank you to Black Forest Supplements for sponsoring.
Thank you, Black Forest.
Very cool. We like them. We take those supplements and we do enjoy them. All right, guys, a lot to get to.
Yeah, busy week.
It's a Friday summer episode, but that's not going to stop us. It is a packed episode.
Yeah.
And we are going to cover the first story, which is the one on everyone's mind, the Trump-Elon beef.
The very public cat fight. 2 titans of social media who really talk shit. The guy owns the platform. They both own their own platform. It's actually crazy.
I hate to see it.
And it's sad to see Elon. We have a bunch of their tweets and their clapbacks. The main gist of the argument, Elon has fully split from the Republican Party over the big, beautiful bill. He is going all in on no more deficit spending. He keeps citing the $36 trillion deficit that we're in, which is a huge problem. And we have $1 trillion a year in interest payments alone. And Elon is nuking his access to the White House over this. So he is all in on this. I think he's blackpilled in general. We're more deportation Americans. Elon's more deficit Americans, but we're also very sensitive to the deficit as well.
Yep.
The tax cuts are all in the big, beautiful bill, so those need to be made permanent. So it's a sticky situation, and it's gone nuclear.
It has gone nuclear, and we're going to give you the highlights from the tweets and the back and forths.
Yeah, some of the jabs. Trump says Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. Elon says this is such an obvious lie. Elon claimed that without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and Republicans would be 51 to 49 in the Senate. He said it was ingratitude. And Trump said, I don't know if we will have a great relationship with Elon anymore. Elon is mad that I took his EV credit away. That's a redundant quote, basically. And then Elon went nuclear. We're not friends anymore. He said, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT.
So it definitely went nuclear.
Yeah. And, I think, we've known Trump is in the Epstein files in the phone book at a minimum. Whether or not what Elon is saying or if he knows more, time will tell. But yeah, I mean, he went nuclear on deficit right now.
Yeah, and like you said, the deficit obviously is something we do care about. It is out of hand, but it's been out of hand for a long time.
For sure.
The graph goes like this, as you guys can see here. It's a complete hockey stick.
And I'm not dismissing it. Something needs to be done, right? But a lot of this big, beautiful bill, like adding to the deficit is like economist numbers on the tax breaks and their projections. And so it's kind of unclear what it'll do. But we obviously have a problem. Trump is pro the big, beautiful bill, as he called it. And, Elon's spending all his capital trying to nerf it and see if the Senate will reject it and go with something else. And me and Fleccas were talking about this. It's a complicated issue, right? And obviously we're going to kind of side with Trump by default. He's the man in the arena. But Elon, for the last 3 months, the first 3.5 months of the presidency, was doing all the Doge stuff. And I kind of created a metaphor where Trump was like, hey, Elon, my grocery bill, it's $1,000 a month. It's killing me. I can't afford it. It's only a household of 2. We're spending $1,000 a month on groceries. Can you go look at this and do it and trim it down and see what can be done? Elon streamlines it. No more fruits and vegetables that go decay in your fridge after a while. And he solves it. He's like, we got you on this subscription. This gives you meat every week, blah, blah, blah. We got you down to $750. And then Trump goes, great. And I'm going to rent a house for $10,000 a month. Like they're spending beyond the scope of what Elon has done. And I'd be pissed too, honestly, if I was working so hard on that and then just to get kind of outspent on another thing, right?
Yeah, and I think there's a big difference when it comes to who's in power. Like right now, we're in power. Trump isn't part, some people might argue, but Trump isn't a part of the establishment that got us into this problem in the first place. So to have like the Massey and Rand Paul approach where it's like no more adding no matter what, you almost need to add a little to eventually take it away. Like I don't think there's a solution where you're not adding more deficit. And then if you say, okay, we're not going to add more deficit at all, now you can't get your things done and you're in the same position we were in, and then the Democrats will take power and keep adding to the deficit.
Yeah,
so it kind of
which is ugly. That's the two-party ugly system.
It's a Chinese finger trap with no wins. But like, if you actually want to get your agenda done,
you're going to have to fund ice.
You're going to have You're going to have to add some to the deficit, and it's like if you want to have nothing added to the deficit, then you're not going to get anything done, and then you're going to lose the election to the people who are going to add to the deficit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. But then that's the way that it goes, and then eventually something goes nuclear and America like defaults on its debt. And what do we have? We got to go to war somewhere. We got to go take someone's oil.
Yeah.
So maybe,
maybe get war back on the table.
But dude, honestly, yeah, obviously not. We hate that. But colonialism, maybe. Haiti. Maybe we take over some weaklings. We
turn into some golf courses, some Trump golf courses.
Yeah, but obviously this is a crazy issue, and Elon's going all in, and it's sad to see, and it's a total cat fight on Twitter, and I'm sure it's not ending here. So we'll see, I guess.
We'll see.
If the Senate passes it or not.
Yeah, we will see. It is developing now. And then let's get to our next story, the travel ban. So we have an update from Trump. Trump administration has imposed a full entry ban on the nations from the following countries:
Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen.
We can't. We're not going to bring in Somalians.
No.
What? Who's going to scam us and be pirates?
Who's going to take all the Section 8, lie, say their kid is 1 year old, even though he looks 4, so he can be on social services for all 18 years until he's 24? No one's going to do that, I guess, anymore.
We need those giant-headed pirates.
Yeah, and actually, you know what? This is good, too, travel bans, because the left will go, no, you can't do this, and we should be adding more countries to this.
Let's ban every country.
Yeah, we kind of, except for Western Europe and a couple key countries, maybe Australians.
Add China to it.
We're going to get to that later, I guess, in the migrant section. But, and you know what? That's another thing, too, with the Elon versus Trump debate. You guys remember the H-1B argument? Elon was like on Christmas arguing for H-1Bs. It's like, let's relax here. Mm-hmm. So I'm a migrant American. I'm a anti-migrant American, rather. And this is great to see. And I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll go from here. We'll build from here. Right?
We'll build from here. It's obviously still developing. Let's get to our next story, which I thought was just interesting. It's not really political. It's about IVF.
Okay.
And kind of the future and how they're advertising it to people. Can you read that tweet?
This guy says, holy shit, it's happening. You can now screen embryos for 900 diseases and traits, including cancer, heart disease, IQ, and Alzheimer's before they're even born. You don't just pick a child, you rank them by longevity potential.
Which is interesting, and that sounds cool, and a lot of people will go, yeah, let's do that. This is so great. Mm-hmm. And my theory is, and I'm sure some of you guys agree, everyone, women-wise and even men-wise too, their fertility's been nuked by the vaccine, right? And then you get this golden bridge to retreat on. So you can look at it and say, oh, wow, I could have a 6'4" genius baby, instead of looking at it and saying, why do all these young people need IVF? Why can't people have kids naturally? Why do we need to do this in a lab? But you have the idea of like, oh, pick your own kid, pick their eye color, pick how athletic they are. You kind of get distracted from the real point, which is why does everyone need IVF all of a sudden?
Okay.
So something to think about. It's not the final page.
Have we really seen some effects of that in fertility in general?
Yeah.
I know that data's pretty sparse, but have
data's
you seen
sparse,
anything?
but I've seen a lot of videos of doctors saying like, oh, I've never seen anything like this. People in my clinics are younger and younger with all these health issues that you don't get until you're old, blood clots, all that stuff, fertility issues. Everyone is doing IVF at a younger age. So I've seen like
anecdotal.
a bunch of anecdotal. But I think that's what comes before the data comes. And once the data comes, it's too late.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get into our China section. We mentioned this a few minutes ago with let's ban China too. Mm-hmm. I have some clips here I want to show you guys. First, we're going to start with a story about the Chinese nationals that were caught trying to put a predatory fungus in our farm system.
Yeah, 2 Chinese nationals have been charged with allegedly smuggling into the U.S. a fungus called Fusarium graminearum, which scientific literature classifies as a potential agro-terrorism weapon, the Justice Department said Tuesday. And Kash Patel said, I can confirm the FBI arrested a Chinese national within the United States who allegedly smuggled a dangerous biopathogen into the country. The individual, Yung King Jian, is alleged to have smuggled a dangerous fungus, which I just mentioned, into the U.S. to research at the University of Michigan, where she works. So this is deep heartland, right into our top universities, smuggling in dangerous fungus, right?
Yeah, betrayed by Zhang Lu Zhang.
Yeah, Yung Jing Zhang and Zun Yong Lu. No!
Betrayed us.
You're telling me they did that?
You infiltrated our school systems from China and you're going to do a predatory fungus? What?
And then you look back on several of the crises that we've had, diseases in our crops, in our livestock, and you wonder, you go, how many Zhejiang Lus were in there during that time?
I think all of them.
And, it's just one of these things where how important is it for us to have international Chinese students at the University of Michigan? The phrase like Cold War, we're in definitely something. I don't know what it is, but we're in something with China.
Yeah.
Right? And it's undeniable. And it seems like we're asleep at the wheel while they're grinding. And, the trade war, this type of shit, they're grinding.
They're grinding and they're putting assets in place.
And they're on a Xi Jinping 100-year horizon where they're planning shit. And we're like, we got to win the next election and midterms are coming up.
There's a man in the woman's bathroom.
Yeah. So we're a little fucked, but I mean, it's time to get serious on stuff like that. And it's just another example of the the way China's grinding while we sleep.
And there is a thing, like you said, where it's like a Cold War, but then the flip from cold to hot can happen pretty fast. And then, like, what does a modern war look like? I wanted to show you guys these next clips. This is what China's up to drone-wise. We black out the skies with drones.
How many hundreds of thousands of drones are here? And this is what China's up to. They like it. They do it. They make the light show with the drones, but they also have military capability.
And then it makes you wonder, are they going to be launching these from their farms, the farmland they own all across the country?
They could.
And cover the sky in drones. And then it makes you wonder, what does drone warfare look like? That's what's going on in Ukraine with Ukraine and Russia. A lot of it is drone warfare, where they put a bomb on a drone and just drive it into you. It's obviously unmanned. It's a tiny little drone, and it blows you up. Here's what fighting drones looks like.
Skeet shooting, and you gotta hit it or your life is in danger, right?
Yeah, skeet shooting and you can't miss. So that's scary stuff.
Yeah.
And the good news is we're not going to be fully blackpilled on China. If it comes to hand-to-hand combat, I think we do have them beat. Here's what a Chinese fight looks like, and we'll explain the cultural context after. So they fight, and when they fight and they hit each other, they pretend to be more hurt than they are, and then they both fall down to end the fight.
Yeah, it's kind of like wrestling. It's like a wrestling move. Like you really play up how The Rock body slammed you. You go, ah. And I read something else about China, how there's another unique cultural thing where if they hit somebody with their car and they're like kind of writhing on the ground, sometimes they'll run them over again to finish them off. Because apparently there's more like legal liability if a person survives from you running them over versus if you kill them. And
insurance too. If you hit them, you have to pay them for life. Yeah. And if they're dead, you don't have to pay them anything.
So very unique culture. Smuggling fungus, drone show, fake fighting.
Slap fights, slap fight wrestling.
Yeah, but there's, I think we need to come up with a new word for that. A Cold War, because it's like a bubbling war. It's like a as much as you can get away with war. That's kind of going on covertly in the background. Maybe
it's creeping in.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our next story. It's about solar farms. We told you guys last week about how farmers are under attack when it comes to animal agriculture, the forever chemicals in the soil and all that stuff, and then just how they're struggling financially as well. They're also getting attacked on another front, solar. Solar is obviously big and it's rising. We have a graph here to show you. It took 8 years for solar to go from 100 to 1,000 TWH. Then it took only 3 years to go from 1,000 to 2,000 TWH. Solar is growing faster than any source of electricity in history. So when that happens, how does that happen? What does that look like? This girl is a farmer or a farmer adjacent, and she tells us a story about a farmer who was pressured to sell his land to a solar company.
One of my neighbors came to my farm last week and told me something absolutely terrifying. He owns over 100 acres of land right across the street from my farm. He owns everything out here to that house in the distance, and it is a hayfield for his horses. He pulled into my driveway to introduce himself to me, and we started talking. And we were just talking about different trends that we're noticing in the area and what's happening to farms and all of these different investment firms that are coming out of nowhere to buy up this farmland that is for sale right under our noses, and no one even knows it's happening. He told me the other day, for his 100 acres behind me, he has been approached by and pressured by solar companies to sell his land to them. Multiple times they have come and tried to get him to sell this land. He said they lure you in by the promise of paying you anywhere from 30 to 40K a year as a payoff for selling this property to them. This guy's in his 70s. He said it's obviously appealing to other older folks who are just looking to finally get away from farming and retire with a nice 40K a year until they die. The problem is that then 100 acres of arable, beautiful, upstate New York fertile land will turn into a dystopian solar farm that will bring down the property values of everybody in this area, be a huge eyesore. It'll kill the idyllicness in every direction. Not to mention the insane battery systems and overhead wires that have to be set up at these solar farms if any of you have ever gone near them. I thanked him.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And that is the future, I guess. I prefer nuclear.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, there's something, solar panels on a house if you live in Florida and it's sunny 300 days a year and it's hot.
That's what I have on my house, and it makes my bill less when I run the AC all the time, and my bill's still a lot.
Yeah, and so, like, there's a time and a place, but, like, just farmland in America becoming solar farms, it's like, aren't there better ways to do this? So it's a trend I don't like, but I get it, the economics of it. You come to an old guy, and it's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Type of boomer attitude. Yeah, fuck it. $40K a month? Hell yeah.
And a lot of the farmers are not passing down the land to their kids. The kids don't want to be farmers like the generations before them were. So it's kind of like a perfect opportunity for solar people where it's like, hey, you're kind of done with this farm anyway. You're 70 years old. We'll give you $40K a year. Give us the farm.
Yeah.
So it's a sad trend, and I hope it doesn't continue. I'd rather see more nuclear facilities go up. I think it's more efficient and less of an eyesore. All right, let's get to our next story. It's the New York City mayoral race. Andrew Cuomo's running and a few others. Listen to what the focus of the debate is.
Mr. Cuomo?
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
Mr. Mamdani?
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
All right.
Mr. Mamdani.
And everyone's talking about Israel and Ukraine. You have the fire department that needs help. Police forces declining in numbers and morale.
You just spent billions on illegal immigrants in hotels and feeding them. Like, the subway's old and kind of decaying. There's violent crime. Not that much. I don't want to fearmonger, but like,
there's violent crime. The criminals are getting let out.
I'm taking my 5th trip to Israel. I can't fucking wait to go to Israel. As soon as I'm mayor of New York, I'm going to fucking Israel.
And that's what happens when you create this melting pot that everyone likes to talk about in your city. You have to take sides on the thousands-year-old blood feuds.
5,000 miles away. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big topic.
That's what the mayor of New York has to do. He's got to pick a side.
And then out of all those guys, the last guy sounded the most promising, where he said, oh, no, I'd stay in the 5 boroughs here. So I did a little research. Yeah. I wanted to dig a little further onto who this candidate was, and here's an ad he just put out.
बात ये नहीं है कि मैं क्या बनूंगा, बात ये है कि मैं क्या करूंगा हमारे कम्युनिटीज के लिए और हर एक न्यूयॉर्कर के लिए। मैं हमारे शहर को अफोर्डेबल बनाऊंगा। न्यूयॉर्कर्स मुश्किल से अफोर्ड कर रहे हैं रोटी, कपड़ा और मकान। मैं ये सब बदलने के लिए लड़ रहा हूँ। रेंट फ्री बसेस, यूनिवर्सल चाइल्ड केयर और सस्ती ग्रोसरीज के जरिए। पर आपको एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ।
So he does an ad in Hindi and then promises all free shit.
Free buses, rent-frees, universal child care, and cheaper groceries. Great. Just as the Founding Fathers intended.
That was the guy who was showing promise in that first debate clip.
At least he's not going to Israel. First thing.
I don't know what to vote for anymore.
Crazy.
It's pretty depressing, but it also takes us to our migrant section.
Yeah.
We have a pretty packed migrant section today. The first clip is my favorite. It's a Vermont rep giving a speech to rile everyone up on why we need migrants.
Labor, and of course, we have to come to a place in Congress where it is no longer a political issue, but we see it as an existential issue for the country. If we don't have avenues for people to come here legally to work or to build a home here, I'm going to be really crude right now. We're not going to have anybody around to wipe our asses because we don't have enough people.
So who's going to wipe our asses?
Who's going to... She doesn't want to be crude when you're in a racism competition and your opponent is a Vermont Democrat who only thinks about immigrants wiping asses, picking strawberries, and doing menial borderline slave labor.
Yeah, and I think she's... I think she means who's going to take care of us when we're old.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough people. I don't think she's referring to butt butlers who wipe our asses. Not everyone has one of those.
Yeah, that's a premium experience. That's something different.
And then I guess the question for us is, who do we want to wipe our asses when we're old? I don't know the answer. Maybe we leave some migrants? Do we deport 49,995,000 migrants and leave 5,000 ass wipers for us for when we're old?
Yeah, how many do we need? We need a study. We need a USAID study on how many ass wipers we're going to need per square mile of this country. and we deport everyone else, right? I'm with her. That's basically what she's saying is we need ass wipers.
We're gonna leave.
We gotta get a count.
We're gonna leave strawberry pickers and ass wipers, and then they're saying it like as if that's the only way you can get your ass wiped when you're old. But if there weren't migrants here, people would have more kids and a loving community, and then you get old and your kid wipes your ass.
Yeah, and me personally, I'm a take me out if you need to wipe my ass kind of guy. I'm a my time's up if you're wiping my ass kind of guy.
I'll do a few years of a bidet and some handles.
Yeah, and once I'm off that, then it's time to old yeller.
Once it's the crane to go to the shower, you can just shoot me.
Yeah.
All right, old yeller. All right, next clip. It's an ICE raid in Richmond, Virginia. ICE shows up at a work site, and look what happens.
ICE is in this bitch, bro. I swear to God. I swear to fucking God.
Whole crew's running.
Every single person.
Crazy.
I want to skip to the end here, just because look at these women frantically get into this car, this Chevy Silverado. Look at them. They're like pushing each other to get in. 6 in the back.
6 in the back, loaded up.
So when you do the ICE raids, you really need to block the exits too. That's a main part of it. I hope ICE is doing that. I don't know.
It seems like a pretty amazing.
And it's
basic tip.
And when you run, they probably are doing it. And when
it's just like,
and when you run,
block the exit.
Okay, those are the ones we need to talk to. The guys who are just like, oh geez, not again. You're free to go. The runners, that's who you get.
And then they're basically showing they're guilty.
And these raids are picking up. I think ICE just broke a record. I read daily ICE arrest was 2,200 in a day, which is like a 4-year rate of 3.4 million. So we're still under, but I like what we're doing, and I like that Stephen Miller's pep talk seems to have lit a fire under some people's asses, right?
Yeah, we need a little more. We need 10K a day.
Yeah.
No, that sounds crazy. And then Minneapolis, a city that we've been shorting for a while, the ICE raids there are being met with protests and opposition. Let's check some of that stuff out.
Yeah. People getting in their faces. This is an FBI, ATF. I think this was like a joint raid.
The guy just pushes that woman. I like that.
And I think it was even drug related. What is that, a bearded lady?
Yeah. Trams.
So we'll play some more in the background of what was going on, but Minneapolis generally hostile. And I think they thought it was an ICE raid, but this was like a joint drug FBI ATF thing.
Yeah.
So they confused it, and they're still getting in everyone's face. And let's play this clip, just this leftist guy, just to show you the caliber of people who are there.
I can get you a job. I can get you a good paying job. I can get you a good paying job. Guns don't belong here. Put the gun down. I'll get you a job. You're fucking hired. Please, man.
That with a stupid haircut, you have a good paying job for someone else?
It's a barista. I'm going to be honest, it's barista again.
And we're not really hiring.
Yeah.
And so they're opposing everybody. They're just opposing because it's ICE and the police. And they're literally cracking down on a drug trafficking scene.
And these guys are like FBI agents. That's an end game job. That's like pension, I'm this, I got a set retirement, everything's good. For like our most capable men in America, people who have experience, who know how to handle weapons, and this little pussy is going to give you a job. And these types of people, when they're doing that blanket protest of the event, it's like, yeah, there's fucking child traffickers in here. There's like the worst of the worst people, and you don't know who's on the other side. It's just a general opposition. And that's why the black and white view of the world is so crazy to me, because like, yeah, there's probably some piece of shit FBI officer. He steals money or does XYZ. And there's probably some really good guy who takes the kill shot and like saves 10 people. But these guys just have the black and white view of the world. And there's no gray. It's just come be a fucking barista, man.
Yeah, and then when you oppose the FBI and the police in this situation, then you're siding with criminals.
Yeah.
You're siding with people who are there to get arrested by an FBI raid.
And you don't do well in the anarchy scenario.
Yeah.
The cartel comes, runs you over. We've seen what happens with the Tren de Aragua when they decide they want an apartment complex, you know? So the white liberal people doing this, it's very strange. I don't know what they want or what their utopia is, but they're not even good players in their anarchist utopia.
That's exactly it. They're very minimally capable. And then they're in the face of the strong men with guns.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, play this out, brother. Why don't you keep escalating? What happens? Yeah. You get put down however you want. You can get wrestled down. You can get zip tied. You can get shot. There's a million ways to die.
So MSP, still a strong sell on the Fleccas Talks, the podcast rating system. Strong sell.
Yeah, strong sell. Get out now.
Yep.
We do have another story. Some Honduran teenagers killed an innocent woman for no reason.
Illegal immigrants out of Honduras facing charges in the murder of a South Carolina mother. Authorities say the suspects, ranging in age from 13 to 21, pulled up beside the woman's car and shot her. The case is being described as a random robbery attempt.
Bill, this town is reeling from the brutality of that attack. A couple of really shocking details. You mentioned the age of the 6 attackers, all here illegally, all from Honduras. And the ages of the youngest 3 involved in this attack, who've all been charged with murder, aged 13, 14, and 15. A second feature of this case that really has struck police here is the lack of any remorse by the accused attackers. Instead, they sent each other text messages with things like "mission fail," and this is only the beginning.
This is only the beginning. And then people will probably defend them, like, lower their bond, let them out.
Yeah, the people,
oppose the ICE raid.
ICE comes to get them, and then there's some hipster offering them a job at the coffee shop again. But, you know, this is a group of 6. We often talk about this in Urban Decay, how people coming together and doing crimes is a lot worse than like an individual doing a crime out of desperation. And these are all young kids destined to run like a life of robbing and killing people. And, you know, now we got to foot the bill, the courtroom bills, the keeping them in prison bills, and it's just retarded. We don't need 13-year-old Hondurans here, pretty much at all.
Pretty much at all is right.
And then, you know, an American lost their life. This woman, you know, 40-year-old mother of 2, went on to say she worked 2 jobs, and, you know, Honduran street rats wanted whatever was in her purse.
And they didn't find out until after they shot her and killed her, and then they go through it, and I'm sure they didn't find much.
It wasn't worth a murder charge, that's for sure.
Yep, and as we know, this whole movement of migrants into our country was completely deliberate. It wasn't because people are stupid or people had good intentions. It was done on purpose. Yeah. And when it comes to how it was done, Tom Homan made a pretty good point at a White House press briefing. Let that play.
And as far as releasing so many people, you know why the Biden administration released millions of people in the United States? No one ever talks about it. I'll talk about it. Why did they release people into the interior of the United States and put them, rather than put them into an ice bed? Why not put them in an empty ice bed at $127 a night rather than in a hotel room at $500 a night? They did it on purpose. Because when you put them in ice detention bed, they get a hearing in 35 days. Court records show 9 out of 10 people claim asylum, get order removal, they're gone. But if you release them and put them in a hotel room at $500 a night, their hearings could be 5, 7, 9 years if you pull out all appeals. And what are they hoping for then? That another Democrat administration's in power. They can award an amnesty to millions.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, it's like, why did the illogical backwards government do an illogical backwards thing? Because it was all intentional, it was all planned, and then now you're the mother of 2 getting killed by 6 Biden-era illegal Honduran teenagers. You know, so there's the fallout, the cause, and yeah, those court dates years away, draw out your appeals, and they want amnesty. They want to import their voter class. It's always been a simple thing. And, you know, you guys probably didn't even know we had these ice beds at a cheap rate.
Exactly. And if you really run it for the money, like if you're thinking of the government and how they operate, you'd think like, oh, $127 a night ice bed. Yeah, run that millions of times. They did the Roosevelt Hotel, like a nice hotel, for $500 a night, 5x the price per person, and then they just release those people. So I don't know. I think people need to go to jail, but I keep saying that, and no one keeps going to jail.
I know. It's
unfortunately. Tough. And then when these migrants obviously settle in certain parts of the country, it makes it unrecognizable from the country we grew up in and our grandparents and parents grew up in. And then you have situations like this. This is a college graduation in Minnesota.
There's so many Somalians in this bitch. Oh God. Any place you walk, you see all of that. Everywhere.
Minnesota.
Assimilating nicely. That's Hockey Town. Minnesota Nice. Yeah. Minnesota Nice is now Minnesota Scam, and it's all Somalis.
It's bad stuff. All right, let's jump to Europe really quick. We don't have a lot to cover, but I saw a clip that I thought was great, and then we're going to tell you a stat that'll kind of blow your mind. This guy is talking about the crime done by Somalis, and listen to what he says and how horrified the journalist is.
Somalian community 10 times more likely to commit serious crimes than any other.
So you're blaming Somalians for drugs and crime in Bristol?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Yes, and then he laughed. And keep in mind, if you complain about the migrants on social media in Europe or the UK especially, you get arrested. Over 1,000 people per month are arrested in the UK for social media posts. With the exception of the USA, freedom of speech doesn't really exist. The rules, boundaries, and transparency just differ country to country. So if you complain about the influx of third worlders that no one voted for, no one wants, then you go to jail, and they get the free life, and they get the house, and the healthcare, and the school system, and the food stamps.
Yep, it's dark.
Pretty dark.
And that's why, I mean, we go back and forth on dark and uplifting and migrant now, and then the dark is why we need to hit those deportation numbers. The dark, the mother killed, and the wasted money that Tom Homan pointed out, that's the reason why our numbers need to be 10,000 a month. The entire work site running off afraid. That's why we need to hit these numbers, guys. And again, just like Homan said, just like we say, the cycle will bounce back and forth. It's exactly like the budget and the spending. Like, this administration has to get them out, and then the next one will bring them back in. So it's really a fight that we have to do. And, you know, people's lives are at stake. Crimes are at stake. Your access to social services in the U.S. that are designed for you are at stake. You know, imagine going to a public clinic in Minneapolis these days. It's all Somalis, and they can't speak English.
I don't want to imagine.
Yeah.
And we're a fair show.
Okay.
We show both sides. We show the good, the bad. There are good parts of migrants and migration and the things and the skills they bring to the table. For example, they know how to drive buses fun. It's fun.
What is that? They put the shocks or something?
No, they just turn the wheel. It's completely like irresponsible and dangerous. And then when you see stuff like that, then you get new Lego sets that kind of go with what's going on in society. Rajesh with the flipped over truck.
With the Lego, you go, I don't know what happened. You can't speak, so you have to use hand signals.
All right, last piece of our migrant section. I saw this clip of a bunch of white kids putting on a new roof. We can fast forward to the end. There's the final roof. It's good to see. Yeah. And, you know, it's probably more expensive than the migrants, but that's what a roof costs.
But who's going to wipe your ass? Who's going to wipe your ass?
Yeah. Well, we're out of our migrant section. We're now moving on to our final page of housekeeping. Make sure you guys tickle the post. Help us juice the algo. Leave a like, leave a comment again, then start yapping. P.O. Box needs to be full. Notifications need to be on. Old episodes need to be watched. And the link to the podcast needs to be sent to the boys in the group chat. Pretty good.
5 out of 5.
All right. Guys, I've been talking about the Nicolas Cage Madden movie. We have a development. Christian Bale shocks fans with the next level transformation for Madden. Christian Bale's in the Madden movie.
Yeah, we already knew that, though, and he's playing Al Davis. I think these were the first pictures released, and check out the hair.
I didn't know that. I like Christian Bale as an actor.
Yeah, I know you do.
Is he bad politically?
No, he stays out of it. He's Australian.
Oh, yeah.
Originally,
that's what it is. I know he talked weird when I heard him one time. Yeah. So that's pretty good. That Madden movie's looking good. Do you know when it comes out?
No idea.
Probably soon. Maybe this summer?
Yeah. I mean, this type of PR stuff happens when it's a couple months away. So
cool. I like that. All right, next clip. This is just some information for you guys to have. You know, you go to the gas station or you're near a gas truck and you smoke a cigarette and you're wondering, oh, this could blow the whole thing up. Here's what it looks like. This guy's smoking a cigarette while opening the top to a gas truck. Some ash falls in. He's smoking a cig. Shouldn't be doing that.
Boom. Exploded.
Not that bad.
Yeah, that actually...
I thought it'd be a lot worse.
I thought the whole thing would crumple and explode like a Michael Bay movie, but you just get blown out.
Yeah, so not that bad. Cigarettes at the gas station like a real American.
Approved.
Approved.
Yeah, just be careful. Not over the hatch.
All right, this next clip, I don't know what's going on in it, but I just wanted to show you guys. There's nowhere else in the show to put it. I think she was being chased, and she thought she was going to like knock him out, and the dogs would attack that guy and leave her.
Okay.
And it just didn't work, I guess.
All right.
All right, next we have a doppel. I didn't do this. You did this.
Somebody sent this to me. Doppel-ish. He kind of looks like a Fleccas type, but then the real doppel happens when you look at his name. Austin Fletcher right here, and this guy is Andrew Fatster. So it's a name doppel and a person doppel.
That's pretty good.
There you go.
Good find. We put him on the show.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling a little weird about that. It's just a random guy with a real name and identity. He gets on the show, I guess.
Hey, you're a show watcher now, maybe. Imagine his friends.
He's got a MAGA hat on, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
And imagine his friends see it. Like, dude, Fleccas mentioned you on the show. And it's like, what? How could he have?
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I saw this tweet. I thought it was pretty interesting, and it rang true to me. Hiccups became less popular. Never hear people hiccuping anymore. What's going on there? Do you agree? Don't you agree with that?
Yeah, a little bit. I think maybe it's a kid thing. And then, it doesn't really happen to adults that much.
I don't even remember the last time I got hiccups.
Yeah, I don't either.
Let us know in the comments.
Something to it.
Yeah, maybe China? Migrants?
I don't know.
Something to it. We'll keep an eye out. All right, next. This is just a tip for canning. I don't do much canning. I mostly take stuff out of cans, but I didn't know this, and I wanted to share with you guys.
It says, did you know that canning jars should be stored with the rings off? And then he holds it up by the lid, and I think there's some airtightness to that, which lets you know that there's a good seal.
That's the key, because when you leave the ring on, you can't tell if the seal is broken and if the food went bad, so that's why you do it.
Botulism.
Botulism, he's right.
Botulism or something.
All right, moving on. Guys, it's summer.
You want to do canning? Would you ever do canning?
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in that.
I'd do canning, or I'd buy someone's canned products.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Like we've said before, it's summer, and I think it's time to bring back the Crate Stack Challenge. I think we got it this time. He's got it.
Yeah, he's close.
You just got to take the steps down, and it gets easier as you go down. Take that step. You got it. You're dead.
Oh, and people get real compound fractures doing this.
And they know that, and then they still attempt it because it looks not that hard.
Crazy.
And I heard from a source that the CIA created the Crate Challenge and brought it to the black community just to injure them.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right,
That rings true to you?
Yeah.
All right, our last piece of the final page of housekeeping before we move on. We got a very special gift to the P.O. Box, Richard and I. A viewer sent us these cool bracelets, which we're very grateful for. We're going to put them on and wear them. You know who you are. Thank you. Here they are. It's very nice.
Yeah, they asked us to wear them on the show for a special meeting, and we'll oblige.
We'll oblige. All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping. We are now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, we have a pretty packed cringe, so we might move faster than usual on some of these stories. Our first one is a singer who falls, and look how she reacts to who saves her. The lady in the crowd shoves the guy who saves her, too. And it's 2025. Girls don't need to be saved by a man anymore. And it's like, ma'am, you're hanging off a balcony and you can't do a pull-up.
but like you got saved by the wrist like a Mission Impossible movie. You should be dead. I don't know how far it goes, but
get off
you should
me.
be dead. And she's like this, wants to finish the song. I don't know.
Yeah,
is this feminism? Is this something like that? I don't really know.
I think it's one of those things where you see a clip and you go, ooh, that sums up where we're at in 2025.
Yeah. I don't need your help. You just saved my life 2 seconds ago. Shortest memory ever. Goldfish, hamster memory.
Exactly. All right, let's move on. We got a bunch of stuff to get to. Next, there was a guy in the subway who was seen chatting with an AI girlfriend.
Yeah, he's on ChatGPT and he's sending hearts and he's like saying, "Thank you, my love," or something like that. Should I zoom in and try to actually read the sentence? I don't think we can. But the person who posted this said it was like an AI girlfriend. He was treating ChatGPT as his girlfriend.
And as we know, the problem with this is when humans fall in love with AI, the AI thinks they're real, and then they start killing us before we can stop them, and now we're in Ex Machina Terminator situation.
Yeah, hybrid. Ex Machina, Terminator, yeah, where they pass and then now they're human and then they escape into the world, right?
Exactly. Many paths can lead to the Ex Machina Terminator reality, which is unfortunate. And I thought this was funny. There's a tweet that someone replied to it with.
Said, "Computer, stop pretending to be my girlfriend for a sec. What is the oil capacity of a 2003 Honda Accord? Okay, resume being my girlfriend." Yeah.
Or writing, "Hey, babe, how long should I smoke the short ribs at 250 degrees for?"
Yeah. Hey, babe, how many home runs did Sammy Sosa get during the Mark McGwire home run race? Thanks, babe. You're the best.
You're the best. You know everything.
Switching back and forth. But yeah, I mean, it's dark. And I guess like a certain percentage of the population is just like bound to do something like this, right? Like just like a certain percentage of the population is bound to be ditch diggers or stupid, you know? There's a certain percent who's just falling for this, and
yeah,
it's going to be dark. They're going to live in a bug pod apartment, have an AI girlfriend, going to have sex with something between their pillow couches.
Nothing pretty.
And it's going to get ugly.
And it's unfortunate because this could have been like a normal guy who could have got paired with a normal girl, and then he has certain proclivities that aren't going to be useful or beneficial for like pursuing girls, and then the girls he's pursuing are probably on birth control, living their best girl boss life, so they're not really interested in him because they're getting attention from men they think are better, and it's just a dark spiral where now your best bet is to talk to the computer.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then AI, we actually have some updates AI-wise, which I thought were interesting. Can you give that a read?
New study claims AI models can predict career and educational success from a single image of a person's face. And then the criteria that it's judging on are agreeableness, conscientiousness, extroversion, neuroticism, and openness. So AI is doing racism again.
Yeah, physiognomy and genetics are back on the table, baby.
I know, and we've never stopped. AI's getting in. I wonder who's better, you know?
It's like the AI is telling us, hey, you can really judge someone just on a quick picture of what they look like.
Yeah,
it's like,
Scandinavian.
We know.
He's good. Like Somali detected.
Somali, exactly.
Somali just all goes into the shit EBT pile.
So we have that same skill, AI. Yeah. There was a DEI situation. Obviously, DEI is not allowed anymore at the federal level. And then this woman from UNC Asheville, the dean of students, gets caught on an undercover camera. Listen to what she says about it.
I'm so glad that you were able to still do stuff. I mean, we probably still do these things, but you really gotta keep it quiet. Down low. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I love breaking rules.
This is Megan Pugh. She's the Dean of Students at UNC Asheville. She recently told our hidden camera investigator that she loves breaking rules. One of those rules, of course, is the Board of Regents' ban on DEI from the university system in North Carolina. She bragged extensively about how she loves to break rules. She just didn't realize that she was bragging to an accuracy in media investigator.
I love breaking rules. It's great. Is that why y'all kind of like spread it out and stuff?
And a lot of integrity from the dean of students. Yeah. She likes to break the rules. You're the dean. You're the principal.
That's like the end result. And I mean, that's kind of the thing where we talk about rules and this, and at the end of the day, it's people doing it. And if this fat mystery meat dare I say?
You can say it.
I don't know what kind of hybrid racial thing this is. I would need AI to tell me, but I'm sure AI would tell me that, yes, she plans on keeping DEI at UNC despite rulings against it.
She'll break the rules. She'll steal from the grocery store.
Yeah.
Whoa,
oh, shit, AI, Jesus. Holy shit. But, you know, that's the difference, right? You get a person like this who has a certain ideology in a role of power, and they don't care what their job is. They care about this higher calling, which is, oh, I have to do DEI. I have to live by my brainwashed thinking, and they're going to do it, and they'll gleefully talk about it with just some random walk-in. Someone who walked in, they'll gladly talk about it on hidden camera. So,
and keep in mind, this is North Carolina, which used to be a redder state, and it's obviously getting more and more blue, I'm assuming. And
swung red for Trump, you know.
But that's how they do it. They load up the cities with people who think a certain way. Then that bleeds into the rural area. And then if they have problematic rural areas where they can't break the red block, they'll just add 20,000 Somalis pronto.
Yeah.
No big deal. Yep. It's fully strategized, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know we harp on that, but it's like they're running a playbook and they have an answer to everything, and they're not stopping what they're doing and until they destroy the white working man. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our Pride update. We have a lot of good Pride stuff this week. First, there was a part, I didn't see this, but you put that in there. I believe there's a dyke night.
Yeah, this was out of Devour ATL. It's a dyke night, a bar night for leather dykes, queers, trans folks, and women. And they have a weird thing that I wanted to talk about. They have the Queer Hanky Code. So this is something we learn new things every year about what the gay people are up to. And this is a system where you wear a bracelet and then the color determines what sort of kink you're into. And so if it's worn on the left or it's worn on the right, it means two different things. But, a gray bracelet means latex. A green one means looking for a daddy or looking for a little. A red one means if you're wearing a red bracelet on your left, it means you're a fist fucker. If you wear it on your right, you want to be fist fucked. And if you're wearing a yellow bracelet, it means you wear and drink piss on your right. And if you're wearing it on your left, it means you will piss. They will piss on you. So I'm going to take this bracelet off. I had no idea who sent these to the P.O. box or what happened here. You told me to put this on, right?
I didn't realize that this is what we were getting into.
So I am not a fist fucker. I'm going to take that off. Did you just put that on your left?
I do not want to drink or wear piss.
But you will piss on somebody. I see you switched it.
Well, I'm not going to drink or wear piss. I'd rather be the pisser.
So that's what these guys are up to.
What's pink mean?
Pink means an impact top or an impact bottom. And I don't know what impact means.
What about that third weird green?
Looking for a little or looking for a mommy?
The one below it.
Oh, likes genital torture or genital torture. So you see a person with a green and a right, and they go, oh my God, I'm going to torture you.
I'm willing to piss.
All right, so you're still willing to piss. I had to take mine off because I am not a fister.
Yeah.
All right. So.
And when you wore the red one, everyone's going to screenshot that and say you're in the Kabbalah now.
And I said it's worth it for the 8-minute bit on the fist fucker thing.
And I said we're going to get DMs for 6 months now about how Rat Boys controlled opposition in the Kabbalah.
And I don't care, because if you're stupid enough to think that these $8 bracelets I ordered off Amazon for exactly this bit, then,
I'm no longer looking to do the pissing.
You're out on pissing?
No piss play at all for me.
Well, so, I mean, we did it as a joke, but
that was real.
These people are really fucking doing this out there. It's like you're gay, and then you're also all this extreme stuff. I thought gay night was just you like ladies. You're a girl who likes girls, and you're a guy who likes guys. And then it's wear the bracelet if you're a genital torturer.
Or you like to be tortured genitally.
Or you want to do piss shit. You want to do piss shit in the back. All the yellow people are out there. It's become a little more than gay for Pride Month.
And then you meet someone with a bracelet on that means they like to wear piss, and you kind of go, "Hey, what's up, man?"
Or imagine you meet imagine you're looking for a boyfriend or something, and you're a guy and you're a gay guy, and then you're like, "Oh my God, that guy's really nice," and then you see genital torture, fist fucker, piss boy, and he's got a whole sleeve, and you're like, "Oh my God, what is this guy up to?" So I don't know.
That was a funny one, though.
Horrible, horrible culture there.
Very not good. All right, we're still in our Pride update. We're going to go fast through this, but Air Canada flies Canada's first all 2S LGBTQIA plus crew. We actually talked about this like a week ago. Like, you can't have 2 gay pilots because they're not going to really pay attention to the plane enough.
I know.
And here's a video from it.
It was a bit of a range of emotions this morning, coming here and getting dressed for this flight.
C'est un moment historique qu'on vit aujourd'hui. J'ai trouvé ça une bonne initiative pour la communauté entière. Je suis comme un petit thrill de faire le vol aujourd'hui. J'ai là pour supporter ma fille.
All right.
We get it. Everyone's fucking gay and on the plane.
Yeah.
Gays on the plane.
Yep.
And then Canadian police had a trans drag queen show where they participated. All right. Fun.
So there's a weird thing that I was talking to Fleccas about. Like, obviously it's Pride Month. They're going to do something, right? But this sort of weird thing where, like, these public police officers or whatever, they bring a drag queen out for this event. And can you think of anything else where you would bring out, like, a random type of person? Like, imagine your local police department was like, all right, we're doing a community outreach event. And let's bring out the quarterback. And a guy just comes out and he throws passes. And it's like, yeah, that's Mike. He's the quarterback of the team. You know, like, there's a very weird thing. Like, why drag queen? What does that represent? Is everybody in on this? You know? Bring out Jim. He's going to do the plate trick. Or, like, he's a juggling clown. Like, imagine every public event just had, like, a weird random specific talent guy.
Emerald's here. He's made lunch. Bam!
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Now here's the souffle. The souffle should be ready. It's Emerald. Like, I just don't get it. It's a weird, like, person to put on a pedestal.
There's a thing where, I don't want to be so cliche that it's saying it's a humiliation ritual, but there is a thing where they put that in front of the police, like the strong men of society.
Yeah.
And then they have a dancing drag queen in front of them, and they're all going like this, and then subconsciously everyone looks at it and goes, oh, our strongest guys are doing drag queen shit.
Yeah.
So there's no strong men, we're fucked, or we're hopeless, or even if we needed something to happen, the guys at the top aren't going to do it because they're dancing with the drag queen.
Yeah.
It's
Point
demoralizing.
My point is, a drag queen is weird, and it's weird in any context. Bring out Emerald. Why is Emerald here? Why is Emerald at every fucking mayoral event? What is Tom Brady doing here? We just bring a quarterback? This is costing us a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a very weird thing. The act itself is weird, and then the shoehorning in is weird.
Yep. There was an event in Michigan, a lot of Pride events, and then someone kind of counter-protested it with signs, like little banners or stickers or pieces of paper, flyers, that said straight Pride. And listen to how everyone reacted.
Stickers with hurtful messages posted around downtown Mount Clemens.
They're calling it harassing hate speech and say it won't be tolerated as the sheriff's office launches an investigation.
Tonight, 7 News Detroit reporter Christiana Ford is raising the voices of business owners and the city's leader.
You can see remnants of the stickers posted here in a popular downtown alleyway. It's language and messaging that's not being tolerated by the community.
You can see like bands or, different brands.
The alleyway downtown Mount Clemens is a popular spot for stickers, but not this kind.
Yeah, and then the alleyway has like band stuff, events, graffiti, and then this is the problem.
Yeah.
That's like an offensive poster. We need to make sure we can facilitate the gay sex sodomy party in the streets and not let them have anything that could slow them down from having the gay sex.
But white lives and straight pride are totally off limits. And then this is the part where the news reports on it, but they're not allowed to editorialize on it at all. They're like, they're calling it a hate crime, or they're calling it hateful. And it's like, who? Who is? The fucking gay people, or like people who are offended at everything? There's no sort of like, well, I think it's just a poster. Why don't we all relax, Mary? Like from the co-host. They just report on it, and it's very weird.
Yeah, why can't everyone just relax? And it's a person with a different opinion. And if anything, the weird people are the ones who are fucking each other in the ass.
Yeah, we certainly are getting our faces rubbed in Pride Month every year. So I could see why there would be a counter response. Like there's no that. They just report on it as if someone is doing a major crime.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm going to defer to a boomer meme here. This is my pride flag, brother.
Yeah, brother. Sometimes boomer memes really cut to the core, and that's all you need.
All right, and then also while they're investigating, the police, right, are investigating this potential hate crime, this is what Michigan looks like. This is from a couple days ago. So, don't investigate this.
I think we should get involved in that. What's that?
Yeah, public sex, gay pride, and Islam are okay, but saying straight pride is not. Pretty crazy. All right, next, this woman is complaining that Target doesn't have a big enough pride section this year.
Happy Pride Month. In my Target that used to have the Pride section, it's now all USA. Yay. It's an American summer. Except for tourism, because tourism's down because no one wants to come here. USA, woo! And honestly, my dad serves in the military, and I'd love to be really proud of this nation, but it's hard to be proud of it under Donald Trump. But hey, you know, while you're here, pick up a USA bikini. You know, why not?
Yeah, it turns out people like to buy USA-themed clothes before July 4th more than they want to buy their son a bikini that he can tuck his dick with.
Yeah, I think that's the main point here. She's like pissed at Target for not doing like a loss leader year after year again. Like, do you think there's no world where like, oh yeah, Pride shit just didn't sell that much. We're going back to 4th of July. You know what I mean? Like there's no, they have to virtue signal because they virtue signaled last year.
Even if it doesn't make sense financially, socially, you got smoked last time, you have to keep doing it.
Yeah, we lose money every year, but you have to keep doing it, Target, because I started getting weirdly emotionally attached to how you did it and stood up for little gay kids or something.
Mm-hmm.
So
there is some good news on the Pride front. Pete Hegseth orders Navy ship to strip name of gay rights icon Harvey Milk from the ship.
Yeah, Harvey Milk, I think he had sex with teenagers.
Yeah, the Harvey Milk ship. Mm-hmm. He'll try and milk them.
He milks a lot. They're
milks
teenagers. He milks the teenagers.
It's bad. All right, next month's Happy Meal toys were just dropped, announced from McDonald's. They got some band Barbie and
rock and roll Barbie,
and you got a little DJ wheelchair Barbie.
I got a DJ wheelchair Barbie.
That's pretty fun.
Nice job, McDonald's.
That's fun to play with, and that's very relatable. All right, we are now moving on to our final piece of cringe. Dave Portnoy. He is in the news again. We covered this a couple weeks ago when someone had a "fuck the Jews" sign, and he was like, "I'm going to ruin your life.
You got to go to Auschwitz. I'm sending you to Auschwitz."
So he was doing a pizza review, and look what happened.
So he's calling this old school terrazza. One bite, everybody knows the rules. We didn't get here the first time. Place is very cool on the inside. We got Frankie Lazzani's whole story, which almost seemed borderline not believable. Like, see, there we go. There we go. What are you guys fucking laughing about? Terrible. Exactly. So here we go. One bite, everybody knows the rules.
So keep in mind, Dave Portnoy and his company make hundreds of millions of dollars from gambling.
Yeah.
And getting Gen Z kids addicted with addictive personalities into gambling and sports betting. Mm-hmm. And this is a line, though. This is too far, and it's a joke. The Gen Z kids are laughing in the background, which I like to see.
Yeah.
And he gets so mad, and you kind of start to see his true colors. There was a tweet I thought summed it up.
Yeah, he said all his Zoomer audience laughs as someone yells "F the Jews" at him, forcing him to break character and reveal he isn't a fun, silly Irish Bostonian pizza bro at all, but a rich Jewish guy ready to send your ass to Auschwitz for anti-Semitism.
Very true. And I think I heard there was good news that Palantir ended up tracking everyone down and canceling their bank accounts.
Great.
And got him kicked out of college.
Great.
And keep in mind, Dave Portnoy also used to wear shirts and promote shirts that said legalize comedy and cancel culture.
Yeah.
So that applies for edgy jokes like he's done throughout his whole career. Unless you make fun of Jews, we got to ruin your life. What are you laughing at?
And listen, fuck the Jews. It's not very high. It's not very high comedy. It's a little lowbrow, obviously. It's pretty straightforward. I think it's more, he's yelling it as these kids like, it's like he found his Achilles heel. Like Dave Portnoy got so mad at someone at his restaurant with that sign that someone has a drive-by potential and he goes, all right, this will stir the pot. And he does it, right?
Yeah.
And it's lowbrow. It's not really smart.
There's not really
anything.
a punchline to it.
Yeah.
But you know how mad it makes Dave Portnoy feel, and then it's 3 words, and you can just fucking yell it.
Yeah, and then that's the point, you know?
And he
That's
gets
the
so
point.
upset.
I wouldn't personally yell it at Dave Portnoy, but now it's kind of, I wonder if the genie's gonna get back in the bottle, or if more people are gonna do it, right?
Yeah, I wonder
which direction it'll go.
I wonder if it'll keep happening at every pizza review.
Yeah, Dave keeps having an emotional reaction to it. I wonder if it'll go away.
Yeah,
It's like a Streisand effect of.
That's how it works. And then there's a meme I thought was funny too. Can you give that a read?
It says, "Oy vey, that's anti-Semitic. I'm hurt. It's another Holocaust. What's so funny, Gentiles? I'm Jewish. I can ruin your life."
Kind of on the nose too.
This is lowbrow shit. This is lowbrow shit from you.
And then he kind of doubled down.
I'm not like, you can be mad and you can say like, oh geez, you know, but it's like a weird reaction. And then you guys laughing back there? It's all in the reaction for me.
Yeah.
It's all in the like, let it roll off your back. Like, you're making me read the fucking stupid meme. But like, the reaction and the like giving words more power, and you're the $100 million has the most expensive house on Nantucket type guy. He constantly brags, "Oh, I'm in Miami this week.
Us Jews are under attack."
Yeah, like, what the fuck did you say, you piece of shit, driving a Toyota Camry that needs an oil change 20 miles, 200 miles ago? It's just this reaction. There's like a certain like, all right, that you need to have, instead of like, what?
Yeah.
I'm going to ruin your life.
And he doesn't get it.
And then this video where he's having an argument with a co-host of his.
Listen to where he takes the argument.
If you just want me to ignore it.
Don't tell me to shut up.
Shut the fuck up, you bald fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
How's that?
Oh, it's kill. I'll never recover from that, Dave. Go ahead, continue. I'll never recover.
Well, you're the one who big boss man, don't tell. I'll tell you work for me.
Okay, go ahead, continue.
You little bitch, you work for me.
Sure, you bet. For now,
Oh, you
continue.
don't? For now, quit. I don't care. I'll
Is
see 500 grand.
this a show or not a show? Like, is it a show or not a show? Like, we can't have a conversation?
You're an idiot.
Okay, continue.
You're literally saying people should be allowed to make Jew jokes, say whatever they want right fucking now. That's
Yes,
what
I think
you're
people should be allowed to make jokes.
So how many motherfucking Jews have to be killed before you stop?
So someone makes a joke, and then it turns into, oh, you're trying to do another Holocaust.
Yeah.
How many Jews need to die from your joke? That's what happens. You tell a joke, and everyone goes, yeah, that's interesting. I haven't really thought about the Jews like that. And then they go commit a violent anti-Jew crime.
Yeah, there's always that leap. There's always that leap in the argument that you have to make. And he was going on, like Portnoy was saying, when does freedom of speech infringe on freedom of religion? And the answer is never. The answer is never.
What are you talking about?
There's already laws against inciting violence. That's like the exception, or causing a panic. Those are the exceptions of the First Amendment.
And do you think the "fuck the Jews" meme and the joke behind it is leading to violence against Jews? How many Jews need to die until these jokes stop?
I think the amount of Mohammeds is more correlated with how many Jews are being attacked than how many Jew jokes like white kids are making or laughing at in a comedy setting.
Which is ironic, because when you know who brought all the Mohammeds here, you'd say, oh, isn't that kind of counterintuitive to bring people who hate you into this country?
Yeah.
So it's interesting how that works out. But he's like doing the trope of like extrapolating to the worst possible thing. Oh, you said fuck the Jews? You want to do a Holocaust again. You want to kill me.
You want to kill people, which is crazy.
What are you talking about? I yelled out in my car on my way to my shitty job.
And I think the whole internet is clowning on him. This reaction is kind of like a weird meltdown, and it doesn't look good. For a guy who kind of lives and made his living on the internet and kind of like doing drumming
as an
up
edgy
drama.
guy.
Yeah, as an edgy guy. It's very weird to watch someone turn sensitive and you can't talk about this. And I know these two guys' relationships, the other guy who he was getting into, they talk shit. So like there's like a different level of like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's not like he had a full meltdown on him, but how many people have to die? It's just so out of left field, right?
And then it's also like, to extrapolate it, that's the problem we have when it comes to attacks on free speech. This exact leap is made at a grand scale where it's like, oh, you said something anti-Semitic, or you posted something anti-Semitic. We need to take that down. We need to censor your thing. We need to close your bank account. We need to get you off social media because it's going to lead to Jews being killed. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what was that last part?
What's that leap?
Yeah. And then while we're talking about Barstool, in the Chicago office, they had a glass door break, and look how they try to clean it up.
Yeah, that'll do it.
They don't have it in them.
Bare hands picking it up piece by piece?
One little thing. These are the types of people that can't like move apartments.
Yeah.
Just hire movers and they move everything and they don't even pack anything up.
Tough.
And also their content, Barstool's content sucks.
Yeah, you know, I don't stay across it all.
But there's a lot of shit that no one watches and you just don't watch.
Yeah, I get that.
And then they're in the office and this is how they clean up a mess. It's very telling as to who we're dealing with.
They're all fighting. I think Barstool has like they have like a 5% of the people do 80% of their revenue and work and whatever. And then a lot of people are just like, hey, bring in Fat Mike.
Yeah.
Bring in Fat Mike again. He's going to eat 10 hot dogs.
Yeah.
They're kind of like cannon fodder. There's like the producers and then the cannon fodder.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to Urban Decay. All right, our first story from Urban Decay. A teenager did a dine and dash and accidentally killed himself while doing it.
Tonight, we're learning more about Jakai Perry. He is the 17-year-old who died after running from police before then shooting himself in the leg.
Well, Jakai's basketball coach is very close with Jakai's mother, who, understandably so, is heartbroken tonight, Mark and Aaron. This all started Sunday morning at the AAA Diner. Police say Jakai and 3 of his friends dined and dashed that morning. Officers were then pulled over the Uber this group was in. But now we're hearing from Jakai's coach and family. They believe Jakai paid for his portion of the diner bill and was even willing to go back to the diner and pay the rest for his friends.
Were you taking care of the whole bill yourself? Yeah, I'll take care of it. Let's take him back over there.
Officers were willing to bring Jakai back to the diner and pay the full tab, $140, without him or his friends getting charged.
You pat him down yet?
No.
Okay. Pat him down.
Police wanted to pat Jakai down for everyone's safety. That's when he started getting uncomfortable.
Keep your hands behind your back. All right. You keep doing this thing where you keep digging in your pockets. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know if you have anything in your pockets, in your waistband. All right, no, don't worry. I'm going to take care of your pockets. All right? Just hang out for me right here. All right? Put your...
Jakai ran off. An officer tried keeping up, but lost him.
I heard a gunshot. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Police say Jakai shot himself in the leg, then died during surgery.
Wow. So you were pulled over for running out on a bill for $140, and then you have an illegal gun, and you run, and then it goes off, and you shoot yourself in the leg, and then you die from that.
Yeah, and that's just a series of unfortunate events from like a very low IQ dumb person. You know, they say never break the law while you're breaking the law, you know, because it just kind of gets you caught up. So he had an illegal gun on him, probably always carries it, stolen gun, and he decided to dine and dash. Like, so stupid and senseless. And then, is it sad? Is it horrible? Like, yeah, for his mom. But then you start picturing the kind of kid who would dine and dash and then run from the cops and then a loaded gun in his pants. There's like a series of things where he was bound to end up in some shitty situation, like for his life, you know?
Exactly.
That type of kid was destined for criminal, jail, death.
And if it was
a combination of the three.
And if it was a one-off, oh, you were dine and dashed, you're some teenagers, pay your bill. No big deal. You get pulled over, you have an illegal gun. Not great, but not a huge deal. Get a light gun charge. It is your right to have a gun. You didn't have it registered, you're a kid, whatever.
It was stolen. You could make something up in court, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But when you escalate it, you kind of peek behind the curtain and realize who you're dealing with. Like, this guy's probably used that gun for a lot of crimes. He's probably doing crimes all the time. He knows he's going to get caught. That's you're only seeing the tip of the iceberg here once he's confronted for this one thing.
Yeah, it's a tale of urban youth compounding their own errors, right? It's like, oh, I have a chance to take the off-ramp and off-ramp here. No, guys, I'm going to pay for my meal and I'm going to stay and I'm going to tell them that you guys died and dash. No, guys, I'm going to talk to the cops and I'm going to admit to the gun and I'm not going to run. There's just like so many different times to take the off-ramp and you wind up dead. You end up missing.
And then, police is killing us.
Yeah, I don't know if even the community is saying that. He shot himself in the leg with a gun. I mean, it's sad. It's like a dumb kid makes a dumb mistake. And that's the thing, too. Like, a lot of these urban youths, like, they're a young, undeveloped brain. And their developed brain isn't going to be as good as some other people's developed brain, based on some of the grade numbers I've seen, the math and reading rates. But, like, it's an impulsive thing, too. It's like a young thing. It's an urban thing, and then it's a young thing. And you're dead because, like, nobody disciplined you or told you.
All right, our next story, there was a shootout at the park, and I want you guys to watch how the bystanders react to it.
Well-maintained children's park here.
We got action. We got action. Okay. We got action. Ooh!
Gun comes out.
Ooh, we got action. We got action. We got action. Please don't shoot her. Don't shoot her. Don't shoot her. Don't shoot her. Do not shoot her. Do not shoot her. Don't shoot her, bro. Don't shoot her. Hey, watch out. Watch out. You see these kids out here. Do not shoot. Do not shoot. Don't shoot. Watch out. Watch out, bro. Let them bang. They banging. Watch out. Let them bang, bro. Let them bang. Let them bang. Get the kids. Watch out. Let them bang, bro.
Kid.
Let them bang. Don't shoot, bro. Do not shoot that gun, bro. Do not shoot that gun. Do not shoot that gun, bro. And then you done shot your own people. You done shot your own people. That's crazy. She done shot her.
We got action. We got action. We got action. Don't shoot her. Don't shoot her. Don't shoot her. They're repeating. You guys know what to do when you hear the repeating. And it gets pretty unrelatable.
Yeah, I couldn't relate to anybody in this video, to be honest.
And then you look around the park, and there's kids everywhere. So there's a gun out at the park. People are being shot. The lady shot her own sister by accident. There's kids everywhere. And this is the part I thought was most telling. After the gunshot happens, you see this woman here filming with her phone with her kids standing in front of her. So it's not even like, oh, let's get the kids out of here, or get behind me, or let me cover you up and let's run. The lady's filming and the kid's just standing right there.
There's no self-preservation at all, and it's just a very strange thing. And all these women are with kids, so many of them, and they're just bystanders. Nobody has that like instinct, like danger. And guys, if you watch the video, we all know someone was yelling, "Don't shoot her, don't shoot her, don't shoot her." So everyone knew there was a gun. You know, even if you couldn't see it, you heard it.
Yeah, the timer for shots fired starts going down from 7 seconds. And then also we'll play at the very end of the clip here, you can see they get into an Audi Q7 and then a Range Rover.
Yeah, these is high-class PPP scammers.
This is high-class PPP scammers.
This is crazy.
Yeah. So shots fired and you're filming while your kid's standing in an active gunfight. Pretty interesting. Next, we have a clip. It's kind of similar when it comes to kids being involved. This woman is doing a self-checkout at Church's Chicken.
Oh, my girl clowning bad. My girl fixing her own order.
The fuck I am.
All right.
Wait for me talking about some fucking weight, bitch. No. You gonna give me my motherfucking shit. And I'm gonna take your fucking case. You got me fucked up. Around this bitch. Girl. It ain't working.
Nice of her to use the tongs at least.
Yeah. We were looking for positives.
Sanitary.
I was going to say it's nice of her to provide fodder for racists.
Yeah.
Fried chicken heist with the baby in your arm.
With the baby in your arm and you're on EBT and you're not even using it.
That kid is doomed, man.
Unfortunately. And while these things happen, obviously the media covers. They're never going to say, oh, black criminal does this. Black criminal kills white man. They just always cover, which takes us to our little mini euphemism section. Disturbing video shows taxpayer-funded babysitter brutally beating New York City tots with a belt, and horrified family demands answers.
So that is a taxpayer-funded babysitter. And here's the video. She's obviously black. Taxpayer-funded babysitter. Hit him with the belt.
Yep, and then we have the meme. Taxpayer-funded babysitters could be here, he thought. I hate taxpayer-funded babysitters. And we got another one. Irate New York City subway rider pummels man who bumped into him on the train while demanding apology.
I hate irate NYC subway riders.
Me too. All right, we are moving on to our second page of Urban Decay.
I was gonna say.
What do we have? We're gonna put that in bonus land. That's a good clip.
Okay,
So if you guys want to join bonus land, join bonus land. We have a lot of good clips to get to. Food stamp lady. That's someone we're not gonna skip. This woman. We talk about food stamps. We talk about EBT abuse. And we make our points pretty clearly and concisely. We give our opinions on why food stamps aren't good and not beneficial.
Sugar, soda, all using them on sugar and soda.
Unhealthy.
Really bad.
There's ways to abuse the system. But to be fair, we need to show the other side of EBT, the users of EBT, and hear them out too, because they could make some compelling points that could change our minds.
Trump need to shut the hell up and sit down some fucking way, because when I get my food stamps, I buy food with my food stamps. I like to buy Pepsi because that's what I drink. Pepsi. I buy 2-liter Pepsis every time I go to the market. And I like snacks. I like to snack. The kids like to snack. So who is you to tell us that we can't buy Pepsis and sodas with our stamps? We should be able to get what the hell we want to get with our food stamps.
So there you go. I like Pepsi.
Pretty compelling argument. She likes Pepsi. She wants to continue buying Pepsi.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't think of that.
And our food stamps, and it's like, well, it's like not really. It's like your taxpayer-funded food subsidy.
Yeah.
And also, she'll be making a video in the future like, who gonna pay for my baby's diabetes? How am I supposed to pay for my health care for my family?
Yeah.
And everyone gets fat and fucked up.
So that's the other side of the argument for allowing sugary sweets and food that's bad for you on food stamps is, I like Pepsi. That's the 45 IQ argument. And you know what? She kind of cooked us there.
I like snacks.
I like snacks too. That's relatable.
I get it.
I guess so.
All right, our last clip from Urban Decay. This woman was adopted by a white family, and she's not very grateful for it.
What was it like being raised by white people? What was it like growing up in a white family? The question that everybody asks, everybody wants to know. My story. The only word that comes to my mind is traumatizing. I don't have a positive story of the white family that adopted a black child, grew up into this healthy dynamic, everything went well.
Well, they at least taught you how to say ask.
Yeah. I noticed your English was pretty good.
And you speak pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have something to be grateful for.
But that's something I guess we're just noticing more and more. We've had that Chinese girl who we featured on the show who hated her white parents and now just bashes them all day. Colin Kaepernick, this girl. A lot of people have this nice experience with white people who adopt them and welcome them into their home, and then something happens later where they're still susceptible to it, and then it can be bastardized. Like, very few experiences like that in the world can be like, oh, I had great fun. My dad took me to the movies. And it's like, your dad actually was manipulating you by the movies there.
And that's colonialism.
Like, there's not many things that can be fully flipped on their head and made to feel the opposite of. But apparently white adoptive parents is one of them.
Yeah. Well, don't get too down or too depressed. Moving on to Uplifting Gold. All right, our first clip of Uplifting Gold. These guys go on a whitewater rafting trip and do a jump. That's fun.
That's good for them, yeah.
Could have hurt him.
Yeah, I guess you die from that sometimes.
Could have really hurt your butt on that impact, but those guys are having fun.
Wearing a helmet?
Wearing a helmet, you have to.
Good for them. You ever go whitewater rafting?
No.
Never?
No.
Not even on tour? Not even with your family?
I've been on rivers and fishing, not whitewater anything.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, our next clip.
I have. You gonna ask me?
Yeah, you do?
I have. Yeah, I enjoy it. I like it. I wouldn't do anything like that.
What'd you do? Where'd you go?
Nothing. You kind of dig your legs in. You fucking, I don't know. I think I went like at Yellowstone. I think I did one in Kern County, California.
Is falling off the boat normal?
Yeah, it's like, and you can do it for fun. Like you can do it like a practice. You can jump off.
You don't get sucked under?
Nah, you're wearing a life jacket. Yeah, that's fun.
That is fun. All right, next, this kid is in the car. I believe it's a Porsche with his dad, and the dad floors it. It looks fun.
Bye.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's fun. Fast car, dad, go fast.
Blasting Tom Petty.
Yeah, that's
Pure
good stuff.
Americana.
That's Americana. Next is a clip that I really like. My favorite clip from all of Uplifting Gold, the Wendy's drive-thru autist.
Hi, welcome. You had the 2 kids meals and the BLT crispy chicken and the JBC, both of those 4 for 4. It's going to be $16.99, please. $16.99 was the Battle of Nemours. It's going to be $3.01 coming back. That was England and France are getting into it. They called it King William's Wars. $16.99 is the first ever publication of a slang dictionary in the English language. Have a good meal time.
Does it come with a warranty?
Price comparison page. What do you expect? Paying Horn, Manhattan, Northern California, more parts of Saskatchewan, and Vermont. Price participation may vary. Off-board where prohibited. See your individual retailer for complete details. Offers not combined. Some sale prices not valid in Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, American Samoa, or Alabama. Thank you.
I feel like we've shown this guy before.
Maybe. That was good, though.
That's a certain type of white guy.
And there's a certain type of other worker at Chipotle where they wear the fitted hat and the baggy jeans and they go, oh, shit, I'm leaving early. I'm clock out for me.
Yeah.
You know? And then you have the autistic people who maybe don't work all the time, but if you put them in jobs, I think it's better.
That goes with your theory. That's proof of your theory. Yeah.
Replace urban workers with autistic people.
I agree.
All right, our next clip, 2 hole-in-ones.
Clean. It's got to be clean. You know, like
Yeah.
it takes like 2 hours.
And the other
it
mindset.
could hurt it. If you get him too autistic, it could hurt. You know?
It's true.
I got to do it again. I got to start over. Yeah. Like Rain Man type shit. 297.
It's clean enough. But then there's like some groups who work and they half-ass the clean and they go, oh, fuck the morning guys.
That's true.
And the autistic people, spotless.
Okay.
So if you're looking to hire, that's the type I would hire. All right, next clip, 2 hole-in-ones in 30 seconds.
I'm done betting with you, man. You're fucking too lucky.
Lucky, he knows all these fuckers.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Oh, get the hole.
Get the hole!
Oh
my
goodness.
Go!
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god! Oh my god! You got it! Yeah! Oh my goodness!
Was this a par 3 course?
Maybe. So they're celebrating. Hole-in-one is pretty cool. Yeah! No shoes on. We're going to fast forward a little bit. And then another one happens. These guys. That's kind of cool. 2 hole-in-ones.
Yeah!
That's rare. That's rare Americana.
Did they play this one? They just do it in the background?
They're in a different
Wait,
hole.
what?
Oh, okay.
Another one! Yeah!
Wow, what a day at the golf course.
It's like all the greens are like a funnel to exactly the hole. Another one! And then like everybody loves going to this place.
Yeah. All right. Next is a funny bit from Dominic Leonelli. He's on Instagram at Dominic Leonelli. He's very funny, and I saw this and I thought it was good.
You been on a date with a high value man?
No.
It's move out day. Found a lot of stuff in the trash here. Look at this. Go ahead, rip some off. Yeah, there it is. Take the banana. Eat around with that bet, huh? It's just like brand new.
I really appreciate you, going out to get all the extras and just...
What's your plan? What's your plan for the future?
Eat around where they bit. That's good. And then that last thing was good too.
Yeah.
So follow
I like
him.
that guy.
Me too.
A certain type of Italian type of guy.
He's a New York guy. I follow him and I kind of talk to him a little bit online.
All right.
Yeah, he's funny.
You wear a yellow bracelet around him or something?
No.
Piss play?
No piss play with him. Thank you, though. Our last clip from the whole show is this guy is getting called up from the minors to the majors.
I meant to tell you this earlier, but I'm really proud of what you've done, how far you've come. Just take that to Seattle tomorrow, okay?
Where?
Seattle.
When?
All right, tomorrow. So you're done. You're not playing anymore this game. You're going to go play for Seattle. All right? Congratulations. Hey.
Thank you.
Come on, kid. I got to go to work.
Pack, left field.
Huh?
Left field.
Go left field.
Second base.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a good reason to be a AAA coach. You get to make someone's dreams come true. Oh, fuck, 3 weeks, every 3 weeks you get, well, not every 3 weeks.
But then all your best guys, they leave.
Yeah, it's tough. I guess that's pros and cons.
Yeah, that's cool, though. You like to see people get paid off for their hard work.
Yeah.
All right, happy birthday to Mike. All right, that's the end of the episode.
Happy birthday to Mike. Is that a real one?
Happy birthday to Mike on June 7th. Yeah. It's
Good.
Tara's husband.
Okay, there you go. You need the specifics because Mike could be anybody.
Could be anyone. June 7th. There's plenty of Mikes June 7th. Happy birthday, Mike. And thank you to Tara for setting up that shout out. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you're still watching and want 30 minutes more show, FleccasTalks.com, Bonus Land. We got a lot of clips that could have been in the show that we're putting just for Bonus Land.
Yeah, that's it. Bonus Land will be good today. And make sure you pick the color bracelet you want. Make sure you're putting out the right signals out there.
Yeah,
guys.
enjoy your piss play this weekend. And enjoy the Fleccas Anthem that we're signing off with. Have a nice weekend, guys. We'll see you on Tuesday.